Whoa, giddy up, Star. We have more troops to warn. You've probably heard of Paul Revere and his famous ride, but maybe you don't know about my important horse ride that happened 2 years after Paul's. It was evening on April 26, 1777. I was helping put my 11 brothers and sisters to bed. At the age of 16, I helped do a lot of things for my family. We heard a knock at the door. It was a messenger. He was wet, cold, and exhausted. He informed my father, Colonel Henry Ludington, leader of the 7th Regiment of the Dutchess County Militia, that 2,000 British troops were attacking Danbury, Connecticut. They were burning food supplies, tents, and clothing for the American soldiers. Of course, my father wanted to gather all of his troops immediately. However, his troops were ordinary citizens, not professional soldiers. He had given his troops permission to return home to get their crops planted so they could feed their families next winter. Well, their crops would have to wait. He needed his troops to assemble at our house and prepare for battle. The tired messenger could not go back out in the icy storm, and he also didn't know the territory. I know my father needed to stay at our house to organize the troops as they arrived, so I volunteered to muster his troops. After all, I knew all of the men in his militia and where they lived. With my horse, Star, I traveled through the dark and stormy weather on slippery, unmarked trails. Star and I sprinted from one farm to the next, shouting, "Muster at Ludington's!" Star and I traveled over the countryside, the icy rain stinging our eyes and making it difficult to see. That didn't stop us. We rode all night spreading the word. When we arrived back at the house at dawn, we realized we had mustered all of the troops. Hundreds of men joined my father to fight for our country's future. My father and his troops set out for Danbury. Unfortunately, they were too late to defend their supplies. They had all burned. They joined with another militia and fought the British at the Battle of Ridgefield the next day. The battle caused the British to retreat. I am remembered for the bravery I showed when I traveled on horseback all night in treacherous weather to muster my father's troops.